Welcome back to Leaving Cert Plus. This is lesson 1.22, our second lesson looking at cubic functions and dealing with questions involving the roots. So we're given f of x here and you have a plus c. You're given that x is equal to minus 7 is a root. You're asked to find that plus c and finally then find the other two roots. So I'd like you to pause the video and give this one a go. So hopefully you got to give that one a go. We're looking at f of x here and we're trying to find plus c. So we're given that x is equal to minus 7 as a root. So given that's a root, if I sub in minus 7 into our f of x formula, that should equal to 0. So let's use that to try solve for c. So I'm going to sub in minus 7 in every place where we have an x. We got a plus c at the end. We don't know what that is, but we do know that this should all equal to 0. So what you need to do is put all of that into your calculator, everything apart from the plus c. And you're going to find that that's negative 28. So minus 28 plus c is equal to 0. Hence we can solve that c is equal to 28. So now we've solved the value for c. C is equal to 28. So now we know what f of x is. So f of x is equal to all of that, and then you have a 28 at the end. Also what we know is that x minus 7 is a root. So we could say that given x minus 7, or x is equal to minus 7 is a root, we could say that x plus 7 is a factor. So now we've got a factor, and we've also got the completed function, given that c is equal to 28. So therefore we can do long division then between the factor and our f of x function to find a quadratic, to factorize and to find the other two roots. So we're going to divide x plus 7, our factor, into the completed equation, which is 3x cubed plus 29x squared plus 60x, and our c is plus 28. So dividing in here, that's going to be 3x squared. So multiplying in that 3x squared, we got 3x cubed, and you've got plus, and 3 times 7 is 21x squared. Changing the signs to negative, that's going to be 8x squared, bring down your 60, so that's plus 60x. Then that's going to be plus 8x here. So multiplying in that 8x, then you've got 8x squared, and that's 56x. If you take those guys away, minus and minus, that's going to leave you with 4x plus 28. When you bring that down. So then that's going to be plus 4 here, and that will give you 4x when you multiply it in at plus 28. So taking them away, you're going to be left with nothing, meaning that this guy is actually a factor. So what we need to do now is factorize this quadratic, which is 3x squared plus 8x plus 4, and we're looking for roots, so put it equal to 0. Open up those brackets, you could say 3x and x, and if you say 2 and 2, that'll give you 6 and 2, so both positive will give you 8. So therefore 3x plus 2 is equal to 0. So moving over that 2, we get 3x is equal to negative 2, so x is equal to minus 2 over 3. That's our second root. And then if you put this guy equal to 0, you're going to solve that x is equal to minus 2. So that's your third root. So root number 2, root number 1, or sorry, root number 3 we'll call that. And then our original one we can call 1. Okay, so that's root number 1 there. So there are 3 roots. We've also found c in that process. So similar question coming up. I'd like you to pause the video and give this one a go. Okay, so we're told here that x is equal to minus 1 is a root, and we're asked to find the value of c. So similar to the last question, f of minus 1, when you sub in minus 1 into this, it should equal to 0. So minus 1 to be cubed, minus 13 times minus 1 plus c is equal to 0. So if you put that into your calculator, or just work it out, that's going to be 12. So you can say that's 12 plus c is equal to 0, hence c is going to be equal to minus 12. So we've solved the value for c now, so we can do the long division using x plus 1 as a factor, because x minus 1 is a root, or x is equal to minus 1 is a root, so therefore x plus 1, this is your factor. So let's divide that into our f of x function. So x plus 1 divided into our function, which is x cubed. Now notice this is an x cubed where we don't have an x squared. So I'm going to sub in my plus 0 x squared. Remember we learned that a couple of lessons ago. Then continue on with your negative 13x and your c, which we found to be minus 12. So now dividing that in, it's going to be x squared, multiplying that x squared then, which is going to be x cubed plus x squared, minus those. That's going to leave you at minus x squared, bring down your minus 13. That's going to be a minus x here. Multiplying in your minus x, we got minus x squared minus x. Taking those away, that's positive and positive. You got minus 12x, and bring down your minus 12. So that's just going to be a minus 1 here. So, or sorry, that's going to be minus 12 by the x and by the 1 to form minus 12x minus 12. So taking those away, they're going to be positive and you'll have a 0 remainder. So now we have fully done our long division, and now you have to fully factorize. So you got your plus x squared plus or minus x minus 12, put it equal to 0 to fully factorize and find your roots. So we could say x and x, 3 and 4. If you use a negative 4 and a positive 3, that'll give you a negative x. So you find x is equal to 4 and x is equal to minus 3. So there your second two roots, and your first one was up here at x is equal to 1. So this is root number 1, this is root number 2, and root number 3. So that's how you do those questions. If you're given a plus c and you're given a root, just remember that if you do sub in the root, like we did here, it should equal to 0. Use that information to solve for c, and then it's just regular, find your quadratic, and then factorize that quadratic to find your final two roots. That's all for our cubic functions for lesson 1.22. Thanks for leaving Cert Plus. I'll see you again in lesson 1.23.
If you like this video, you'll love our notes. You can get some for free in the link in the description of this video.